an investor or as a trader, we would always love to accumulate some high quality companies into our portfolio. And as we move forward, your journey will be easier in stock market by accumulating high quality businesses. So in today's discussion, we will focus on how to identify high quality businesses, what are the characteristics we need to look at, and even what makes a portfolio a consistent compounder for a longer period, and what makes a portfolio less easier for an investor, right? Because having a kachara company or having a company which is a completely cyclical company, or few months it gives profit, few months it gives losses, and that is a company where we need to check every time, right? Or even we have to be very cautious in those companies. So when we are looking at a long-term companies, we need high quality businesses, right? So let me share my screen and we'll discuss some pointers of how to identify quality businesses in our portfolio, right? In our portfolio. So first of all, the most important thing which I need every one of you to remember is, at the very least, you should learn and understand well the sound principles and proven rules and methods that will protect and build your investment portfolio over time, right? So someone who keep learning and keep understanding the principles of stock market, right? As I always say, stock market is not a very, very difficult game to play, or stock market is not something where many people have a misconception, right? Have a misconception that stock market is risky, many people lose money. No. Only thing is that you need to understand some rules. You need to understand some sound principles. And that is how you build your investment portfolio, right? A portfolio is not made once. It is something where you churn. It is something where you always construct over time, right? Construct over time. Second, let's see how should be a portfolio design, right? So a portfolio should be ideally towards a specific theme by design. If I'm constructing, even someone who are beginners or conservative investors or just starting into the investment journey, how should your overall portfolio be built is something we need to look at, right? Let's discuss what should be the theme. First of all, look at companies which are more structural than cyclical plays, right? So what do you mean by structural? The company has a long-term visibility, long-term growth, and over time, it can be scalable in nature. What do you mean by scalable? Scalable means, yes, as the time moves, if the promoters or if there is more funds coming into the business, can it expand? Can it establish new units? Can it grow into more geographics, right? So those companies come under more structural. So listen here, we are constructing a portfolio that to high quality businesses, right? So high quality businesses should be structural in nature. Cyclicality means it has a cycle. Every company has a cycle. Maybe like if you see cement related companies, sugar related businesses, right? Iron, steel and iron. These are cyclical in nature. Few months it goes in a upward direction. Again, when the cyclicality comes down, when there is a seasonal play, again it will be coming down, right? So these are not the businesses where you play for long term, high quality, right? High quality businesses should be structural rather than cyclical. Maybe cyclical, you can keep it under your short term, right? Maybe returns for few weeks, few months, like that. Similarly, companies which borrow a lot of money, right, should be very, very careful, right? Avoid companies that borrow a lot of money to grow, right? Simple example, everyone would be tracking Adani, right? Adani Group. Adani as a group is heavily leveraged, right? Heavily borrowing is there. But yes, those companies which are heavily in debt, you don't keep it under long term or high quality business, but short term you can play there. For example, right now, even from the February lows or even January end lows, Hindenburg, after the Hindenburg case, now it is slowly reviving, right? It is slowly reviving. And these companies, if you keep it under a very, very longer term, right, you may have any impact. If the timing is wrong, let's say you have purchased at the high price, right? And because of some problem, right? Apart from Adani, let's say X company is heavily in debt and it is not able to meet its daily operations with the profits. So huge debt will cause the company to crash, right? So as you have entered at a high price, it will be a very, very difficult problem for you to have in your portfolio because that will be a laggard in your portfolio. Rather, those companies where it is under huge debt, for short term, if there is momentum in the company, you can. Even the main reason, Adani also, if you see, because of the positive results, majority of the group is moving. Even Adani Ports, right? It has given a very good breakout, right? In the last few sessions, the breakout which Adani Ports has given is at a wonderful level where after a long consolidation, it has given a breakout, right? So quality businesses, long-term businesses should be in our segment where borrowing or debt should not be a huge burden, because a highly leveraged company is always a threat to the long-term portfolio, right? Anytime it can blast from any various scenarios, right? And prefer companies with intangible strategic assets. What do you mean by tangible and what do you mean by intangible, right? Intangible means something you can't feel, right? Something you cannot touch. Maybe it can be like patents, goodwill of the company, right? The brand image which the company has created, right? Certain businesses over a period of time, over years, over decades, which has built that brand or goodwill cannot be easily destructed, right? Even pharma companies, the kind of a patents they have, right? Any businesses where they have patents, right? These are something intangible in nature. And even moat, right? Which Warren Buffett has termed the competitive advantage in a company which has built over the years, right? These are certain businesses where we keep under high quality businesses. And lastly, this is one of the main thing which every investor should remember: focus on entrepreneurial management rather than caretakers. Sir, what do you mean by that? Certain businesses which are very, very safe, right? Say they get a huge profit, they do not know where to reinvest that money and just give it in the form of dividends. Or they have surplus funds, but they do not want to take exposure into high riskier businesses. They do not want to expand their businesses. Those are caretakers. Certain businesses which take risk, they expand into new geographies, they expand into new product development, they do a lot of testing, right? That is called as entrepreneurial management. That's why I always say in a portfolio, do not focus on only dividend yielding companies, right? Until and unless you're a person dependent on the income from your portfolio, focus on dividends from the companies where you will be getting into your account, right? Rather than that, focus on more companies. Instead of giving you dividend, let the money be in the company and let it grow further. Focus on share price growth rather than receiving dividend, right? Rather than receiving dividend. So focus on companies which are entrepreneurial in nature, right? And to identify these kind of a high quality businesses, let's see what are the key triggers or how do you know them. Sectoral leadership, right? Certain businesses where yes, in this business or in this sector, this is a sectoral leader, right? So let me know below how many of you are following paper as a sector, right? Paper as a industry. And in that sector, which company is what you are focusing? Let me know below, right? If you look at paper as a sector or paper as an industry, it is slowly coming up in our radar and it's slowly picking up strength, right? It's slowly picking up strength. And in that sector, if you see, there are many companies. West Coast Paper is there, Andhra Paper is there, right? Sheshashayi Paper is there. Many businesses in that segment. But if you look at focusedly in certain business, for example, West Coast Paper, right? In that sector, one company which is showing strength, even they have acquired a stake in Andhra Papers also, right? So to build certain businesses, look at some triggers. So how do you get that? Sir, how do you know like where we can get more information about the sector? Yes, I am interested to learn about paper as a sector, right? So go through certain coverage reports. Let's say what majority of the people do, and I'm sure many of you here would be also doing this mistake. If there is a company or there is a research firm or there is a wealth management firm or there is a bank, they have given some buy or a sell call on a company, don't look at the recommendation price, don't look at the target price, don't look at the stop price, rather look at the report, right? Let's say you're studying about a paper related company, study what is the sector is into, right? What is the growth of that sector, right? So you get a very good information from any coverage reports, on call reports. Sir, I've been heavily invested into West Coast paper, right? So I wanted to know what I have to do further. Go through the latest con call report, right? Or even go through the latest credit rating report. Sir, Adani, I've been there. Adani Power, right? Adani Ports, I have been there. I wanted to know what kind of a debt they are into, and I wanted to know whether they are at a safer limit or not, right? Credit rating reports, maybe like your CRISIL, ICRA, all these agencies do their own due diligences, and as per exchanges, it is mandatory for them to upload their report in platforms, right? In public platforms. Even you get it in screener platform. So you get an idea if for X company you are analyzing, if CRISIL or ICRA has given a rating report, you get to know what is their understanding, right? You wanted to know how much is the debt exposure there. They give you what is the long-term debt, what is the short-term debt. Is it under manageable levels? Are they doing well? You get under this credit rating report, right? So to get the sectoral leadership or to understand more about the leaders in a sector, this is the data which is available for you for free. Yeah, all of these are not like paid things. You get everything for free, right? Even the reports which I told you or the recommendation reports, don't look or don't focus more on what is the target price, what is the recommended price. That's certain thing you have to look at the last, but study about the sector, study about the company, study about what are the competitors for it. So this gives you a lot of information. Second, a business which is a high quality business would be a consistent compounder. So what did I tell you? Apart from the fundamentals, technically on the charts, right? That too on a weekly chart or on a monthly chart, right? If you see a company on a monthly chart or on a weekly chart, which is a 45-degree angle chart, right? Like this. If you see the movement of it is like 45 degrees, where the stock is exhibiting this kind of a 45-degree angle. These are consistent compounders and long term. And as I always say, remember this, in order to hold a high quality business, that business should be a combination of fundamental strength along with the technical strength. This combination will lead to multi-baggers in your portfolio, right? Sir, a company is high quality. Many of the factors it is satisfying, right? But price and volume, there is no action. It is inactive there, right? No, we have to wait until the price action starts, right? So that's why a fundamental and a technical hat or a technical lens will help you. And growth in earnings. If you see Warren Beverages, just check at the last quarters, how much is the earnings? How much is the earnings per share, right? If you see a growth quarter on quarter in the earnings of the company, then it can be a long-term business, right? Strong moat business. Sir, what is the definition of moat? What is the full form of moat, right? There is no full form as such for moat. It is coined by Mr. Warren Buffett, right? It's coined by Mr. Warren Buffett, and moat simply means competitive advantage of a business. What makes a company unique from its competitors, from its peers, right? So that is called as a moat, and it is built over a period of time. It can be in terms of vintage, a company having decades of experience, right? 2 decades, 3 decades, right? A decade means 10 years. A company having a strong product portfolio, it is a moat, right? A company having a huge patents, huge rights, right? A strong moat business, a company wherein highly capital expenditure, right? So if a competitor, it's not easy for a competitor to come, because it's not easy to invest such a heavy capital, and consistently they are growing at a growth of 12%, 14% year on year for the last 10 years, right? So those are certain businesses which are strong moat businesses, right? So as I told you, to identify high quality businesses, we need to understand certain rules, certain systems, right? And some certain principles related to it. And when you are looking at building quality businesses over a longer period of time, prefer more structural companies, entrepreneurial management, companies which focus on consistent growth. And as there is a lot of funding coming into the company, whether it can expand its business, whether is it scalable in nature or not, right? These are the businesses which we focus on more high quality businesses in our portfolio, right? So certain businesses where they are into more debt, more cyclical in nature, right, is not a consistent compounder for a very longer period. Those are the companies we keep it under short term, where more effort is required, and we have to look more cautiously, right? More cautiously. So I hope everyone loved this discussion, and let me know below what are the quality businesses which you are focusing, right? And certain things, if you are missing out of this discussion, what we have discussed, and sir, yes, these are certain things which I need to implement so I can even fine tune my system, right? Let me know below. Okay. Thank you.